This is the 2026 Range Rover Evoque Dynamic SE. Does it have everything you were looking for? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today we're going to go over Land Rover's base model and give you all of the details. If you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video to the Land Rover of Shreveport website where I'm filming the video today. And we'll start off here on the front end with our full LED lighting. And that is going to include LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and you will also find the LED fog lights that are going to be right down here. And we'll take a quick look at the active air curtains. That's going to allow the air to pass through your front end and help improve gas mileage a little bit. This is not a huge SUV with a ton of horsepower, so naturally you should expect good gas mileage. And we'll find a combination of different finishes here on the front end. As you can see, some gloss, whether it's black, you have a little bit of a matte finish in some places, and the classic consistent look across the brand as far as the Range Rovers go. If we were looking at the Discovery over there, it would have the same look on the front end with the grille, the headlights, pretty much a consistent look. Our Range Rover logo will be right here. Now that's going to be in a gray finish, but I think it complements this exterior color. Now the one thing I do wish was different is the fact that while it looks nice to have basically what are decorative vents right here, they're faux vents if you want to call it that. Nothing is functional where that's concerned, but at the same time, I think it adds to the overall look of the Evoque. Here is your remote. You'll find lock, unlock. Push that button to turn on the headlights. Those are basically locator lights if you need to find the vehicle. You can also open and close your power tailgate. There's your panic button. Now you'll notice that there is no remote start here. That will be in the app, so it is available if that's something you're interested in. Now, the Evoque will come standard with all-wheel drive. Now, you would have the standard 19-inch wheels normally, but these are the optional 20-inch wheels. So make sure you do your research before anyone in the comments says, no, those are 19-inch wheels. People often do that, and they don't really know what is optional and what's not. Gloss black with the mirror caps, turn signal indicators are built in. And we also see that these are power folding and power adjustable side view mirrors, heated, and you'll have your blind spot monitoring built in. Now you will have the deployable door handles, so when you lock the vehicle or when you're driving down the road, they will be inside of the doors like that. That will help again with your gas mileage because it's going to reduce drag and increase aerodynamics. And you'll notice that we have a couple of different colors here. What do you think about this color combination between the body color right here and the roof here? Really sets it off in a very interesting way. We'll finish things off here on the rear with the LED tail lights. And you can see the Evoque logo, the Range Rover logo, and you might say, where's the rear window wiper? I like that it is neatly concealed away, as you can see right there inside of the rear roof spoiler. Under the hood is the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder that puts out 246 horsepower and 269 pounds-feet of torque. All of that will be mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. So what kind of MPGs can you expect if this is something you want to buy? I hope you can see this. If not, I'm going to tell you what it says. We're looking at 20 city, 27 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. The gas tank size is going to be 17.7 gallons in capacity. And on a single tank of gas, you should be able to drive about 354 miles in the city and about 478 miles out on the highway. Obviously, there are going to be variations to that depending on a number of variables. If you own an Evoque, this current generation, tell me down in the comments section what kind of numbers you have been achieving. And to gain access to our cargo area, we're going to open the power tailgate right there. We're looking at 21.4 to 50.5 cubic feet worth of cargo space. Now you can remove, if you want to, the cargo cover right there, and you will find a temporary spare tire located underneath the floor. And here is one of the multiple configurations you can use to maximize cargo space. You will find a panoramic sunroof. That front portion will open, and there is a power shade right there that can be drawn forward when needed to conceal that away so there's not too much heat coming into the vehicle. And you'll find a nice size armrest and door bin, rear seat pockets on the back of each seat, just like that. Our air conditioning vents are going to be here, and a 12-volt power outlet and a couple of USB power outlets too. Now, surprisingly, there is a reasonable amount of headspace considering the way the roof line is set up. And we'll find the cup holders built into the fold-down armrest. A common question to be answered here has to do with whether or not you can change the recline position of these seat backs. No, you can't. There is a little bit of recline built in, but you cannot adjust that. And one more thing I wanted to show here, I talked about how there are a couple of configurations for how you can set up the cargo area. If you need a pass-through, but you have two passengers back here or whatever the case is, you can create that by folding down the seat back for this middle seat. The sticker price is $61,145. You will find a heated steering wheel, heated seats, power adjustable seats for the driver and passenger with lumbar support, and we'll find our glove box right here. Plenty of space, not only there, but with the door bins and the armrests. Here's the control for that power shade I mentioned earlier in the video, and there it comes forward. Right here is the control for opening and closing the power sunroof. You will find the clear sight rear view mirror is there if you want to use that. That is adjustable in a multitude of ways. Over here on the driver's side, we'll find all of our controls for our locks, mirrors, and windows. You can lock and unlock all of the windows. Everything right there, very easy to deal with. Plenty of steering wheel mounted controls, functionality here for adaptive cruise control and all that good stuff. You have your shifter paddles for the 9-speed automatic transmission. Everything for your front and rear window wipers right there. Your turn signal indicators that you use very easily by using that lever correctly, and for your headlights and your fog lights. And we'll also find our digital instrument cluster, a nice modern look. Here is the button for starting and stopping the engine. Right here is the control for adjusting your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel and your Pivi Pro infotainment screen with all sorts of great connectivity for your phone and navigation and all sorts of things to let you know what's going on with the vehicle. This model is fairly capable off-road, believe it or not. It'll help you out on-road as well, which is a good thing, whether it's in wet conditions or whatever the situation is, snow and ice, all that kind of stuff. And we can also go into reverse and just give you a quick view of the cameras, depending on where you need to see. You can do that. Obviously, front view, rear view, all that stuff is going to be here, as you can see. And then we can also go to our 3D view right there, and you can basically look all around the vehicle. Pretty simple to figure out. I like that it works, but there is so much here. The one thing I do wish was here that is not, and that is going to be the fact that here is where you go to control everything for your air conditioning, and your seat controls to some degree are going to be here, just a little bit depending on what you need to do. And you've got seat heat right there if you want to take advantage of that. But I'd rather have physical controls, honestly, but not here. Everything with your wireless charging pad is going to be here as well. You can also use the shifter comfortably because it fits right into the palm of your hand. And then we also have our cup holders and plenty of room within the center console. There's one of the multiple USB ports that are located throughout the vehicle. And we moved outside. Now, I'm still in a Range Rover Evoque Dynamic SE. The only difference is going to be the exterior and interior colors, but I did want to show you a couple more things here. We're outside so that we can let the engine run longer without any concerns in the showroom. Just one of those things we're trying to be careful with. But if you want to turn the auto stop start on or off, there you go. You can see that it's off right now. There it's on. It just depends on what your personal preference is in that respect. We can go right here and see several different options with the icons. You have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone. There's a lot going on here. And for those of you that would like to hear what the audio sounds like, here is a sampling of the Meridian sound system that you will find in this Evoque. Now, I'm not going to go real far on that, just to give you a quick sampling of what it sounds like. I don't think my microphone does a really perfect job, we'll say, of picking that up compared to what I'm hearing in person. So I can guarantee you it sounds really good. I haven't tuned it or done anything like that to make any changes to where it sounds better, depending on what your personal preferences may be, but obviously that's something you can do. All right, here we go on our test drive with the Evoque. Now, this particular model does have a couple of things that are missing compared to the model we looked at in the showroom. It does not have the clear sight and rear view mirror, and it does not have the head-up display. I know I talked about the mirror. I did not talk about the head-up display, but it was in the other model we were looking at. So available features, in case you're interested, those are there. A very enjoyable vehicle to drive with nice, precise steering. The gas pedal and brake pedal are easy to manage. And in my personal opinion, it has a good ride quality, but you keep in mind that I am used to driving a much larger, heavier vehicle. It's a GMC 2500 HD, so the ride quality there is not quite as good as it is here, much larger vehicle. So you need to get in these vehicles and drive them for yourselves, because you may find that the ride quality is even better than I say, or whatever the situation is. But one way or another, I will say the driver's seat is very comfortable. A lot of adjustability here between the steering wheel and the driver's seat. That's always good to have as far as that goes. So no matter your height, you should be able to adjust things where you are nice and comfortable, and so many advantages with all-wheel drive. For those of you that live in those environments where you have snow more often than not, I do not envy you whatsoever, because that is definitely not something that I personally care for. But we have heat more often than not, and I'm not crazy about that either. I'd like to have a balance of nice weather, nice comfortable weather, but we usually don't get much of that. But that's just the way it goes. So you just have to pick and choose, right? But one way or another, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. It does seem to have enough power to get down the road when you need to. We've got somebody in front of us driving under the speed limit, so we're going to zoom on around them. Not too hard to do that. And there we go. Very easily to deal with that. Everything here is easy to learn and use. The one thing I personally would say would be a challenge for me, and some of you might say, you know what, Tom, I like the lack of physical buttons, but I would rather have a lot of physical controls down here. Maybe not a lot, but controls for things such as the air conditioning. That just makes things so much easier, as opposed to having all of that within the infotainment screen, the center screen right here. But that's the way it is with Land Rover these days, as models are redesigned and changed, little refreshes coming here and there. You'll find that they're cleaning this area up. It sure looks nice, but I'm curious to know what your thoughts are where that kind of thing is concerned. And there it is, the 2026 Range Rover Evoque Dynamic SE. Does it have everything you were looking for? Tell me down in the comments section. I'm always curious to receive your feedback. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Land Rover Shreveport for loaning me this Evoque for the day so I could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful to me. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Please be sure to share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.